Welcome to kathysright.com, your pit stop for the conservative mind, heart, and soul. I'm Kathy. Well, he did it. Yes, he did. Andrew Cuomo finally resigned. You could tell he was a little bit reluctantly. Basically, he was saying the same old, oh, it's my culture. It's all political. Everything is so political. Well, dude, you're a politician. Everything you do is going to be political. Quelle surprise. Too bad this is what he's going down for. I mean, I'm sure there are victims who are very sad and tragedized by his activity. You know, he didn't mean to squish their bottoms. He didn't mean to touch them inappropriately. It's cultural, right? Anyways, he says it's political. Well, that's what happens, dude, when you're a politician. You're a politician. Deal with it. Too bad the Democratic Party didn't think to take him down for the mass murder, because he's a mass murderer of the elderly, the 12,000 that died in those senior citizens hospitals. So he didn't go down for that. People died. He didn't go down for signing off on the murder of babies, unborn babies, up and until their birthday back in 2019. He didn't go down for that at all. No, he's just really a good guy all around. So it's not much of a stretch to the imagination that he would fondle women at work. I mean, come on, evil is. You're not just like a Boy Scout in one area and then all of a sudden you're a sinner in the other. No, he's been consistently evil. He's been consistently evil since he's been in office. So this is not a surprise. I just wish they held all of the Democratic people who are in office accountable for the dirty deeds that they do. They could start with Joe Biden and how his family got so wealthy from the Chinese government and all the dirty dealings in Ukraine and the Burisma and all of that nonsense. Oh my gosh. I couldn't believe it. I talked to some Democrats that I knew down in Houston, and they had no idea when I said the laptop from hell. They go, what laptop? Seriously? Were you under a rock? No, they didn't know there was a laptop from hell. They didn't know that Joe Biden's family had gotten wealthy. The big guy got wealthy from their dirty dealings with China. And all of a sudden, he's supposed to protect us from China. No, he's in China's pocket. Everybody knows it. Well, maybe not. I forget. There are some idiots who still watch CNN and believe that's the gospel. When they hear CNN, that must be true. Oh my gosh. There needs to be a real awakening in this country. I mean, there are fools born, but you don't have to die a fool. You can research, you can open a periodical of some other kind besides something that's spoon-fed to you by the Democratic Party. Mainstream media, same thing. But I'm not feeling sorry for them anymore because we're paying the price. We're paying these gas prices. We're paying the price for their poor decisions. We're paying the price for the Democratic Party's greed for power. We're paying at the pump. We're paying at the grocery store. We are paying a hefty price. And we did show up and vote. 74 million of us voted for Trump. I don't believe over 74 million people voted for Biden. Not for 1 second. He came out of that hole 3 times. I've said it before. I don't buy it. And they keep trying to make Republicans say it out loud. They keep saying things like, oh, well, won't you admit that was a legitimate election? They're trying to get them to say that on TV. All the time, every time you turn around, they'll say, well, just say it. Say it. You believe it was a legitimate election. You know why we won't say it? Because we all know it is BS. We all know it's BS. They're not fooling anyone. Well, I keep forgetting. They are fooling quite a few people still. And I'm just done. I'm done with dumb. I'm done with people playing ignorant. Because at this point, you have to be willfully ignorant. People have to be willfully ignorant to not see what's going on at this point in time in history. Never has it ever been more available, more information, internet, newspapers, everything. There's more information out there for everyone. So I do not buy it. But what I do buy, I do think that there's a lot of egos at play here. I think the male ego is a real thing. But I think the entire Democrat Party has a male ego, basically. And it's a male ego gone awry. It's a narcissistic party. They will never admit when they are wrong, and they are feeding off of the rest of us. So we've got to put a stop to this. Best case scenario, vote. Make sure they get rid of those dang Dominion machines. Vote. Demand integrity in voting. And we're not buying all their new words, voter suppression, instead of saying integrity in voting. Because we all know that there is no voter suppression. Every person who is able to vote can vote. And asking for an ID is not racist, and we all know that too. But they want us to pretend that no, those poor black people, they cannot find the DMV. Well, I guess you may as well admit that the teachers union have done a piss poor job at teaching people if they can't find the DMV. Oh my gosh. Well, anyways, I don't know if you are my fellow conservatives, then you are too, as I am, sick and tired of willful, blatant ignorance. If ignorance was bliss, the people in the Democratic Party must be blitheringly happy. I mean, just ignorance is bliss. They must be walking around dancing in ignorance, because there's no way you can ignore the criminality that is going on in our corrupted government by the Democrats and the spineless Republicans. The spineless Republicans need to go. We need to get rid of them. I mean, not do them in. I mean, get rid of them. Vote them out of office. We know who they are now. And once you know better, you do better. So let's get rid of them. Clean shop. Let's rebuild the Republican Party. We've got to do it. We have no choice. We have too much to lose. If we divide amongst ourselves, we will lose this country. So we need to unite, conservatives, and bring some of those dumbass Democrats along too, if you can. If you can convince one of them that their ego need not get in the way of saving our country. Don't you agree? On a lighter note, there are some good things going on right now. There's a lot of people returning to church. Miracles are still happening. Prayers are still getting answered. And some of mine are getting answered as we speak. I'd like to encourage you guys to pray. And there's one other issue I wanted to bring up. I'm going to keep this very short because I have a lot to do. And that is the issue of what I call spiritual suicide. I ran into someone just yesterday, and I hadn't seen him at church in a long time. And he told me a story of why he stopped going to church, to our church at least. And it was very sad. But I was able to relay another story that had the opposite outcome. But I was trying to tell him, because just because you don't like a pastor or a priest or even a bishop or a pope, don't let that make you commit spiritual suicide. There is not a man on this earth that I will allow to come between me and Jesus, period. I'm there for my sacraments. I don't have to like the priest. I don't. I do like the priest we have now. I think he's wonderful. It's a bonus when you get someone that's great. But I am not looking for a priest who fits my criteria. Because if I need a criteria for me to go to church, then I'm really not worshiping God at all. I'm worshiping me. It's like, it's got to fit what I like. I mean, people go church shopping, I hear about. They go church shopping, looking for a pastor or church that agrees with what they already believe. So if that's the case, then it's not that you're looking for God. You're looking for a reflection of yourself in God. So don't commit Spiritual suicide. Don't look for personalities. Go for your sacraments. I'm Catholic. I need my sacraments. And if the priest is in good faith with the church, that means he's able to consecrate the Eucharist. That's what I'm about. I'm there for the ultimate happy meal. And I highly recommend you do so too. I love being Catholic, and thank God I've had priests that I just adored and loved. And the last priest we had, I think, was a real saint, a real one. I think I was in the presence of holiness. This new priest we have, I like him so far. I like him so far. And it doesn't matter, though, really, if I like a priest or pastor or even the Pope. I'm a Catholic, regardless of who the priest is, or regardless of who the bishop is. You may live in one of those areas with a wonderful bishop, like the one in San Francisco. He's a great bishop, but who would want to live in San Francisco? But I mean, most of the bishops here in the United States are very, very liberal, which kind of irks me. But that's not why I'm Catholic. I'm not Catholic because of their personality. I'm Catholic because I need the Eucharist. I need the body, blood, soul, and divinity of Christ in the Eucharist. And a priest's personality or even his sins has nothing to do with the authority to consecrate. So I encourage you to look that up, consecration of the host and apostolic succession. And I will be talking about the truth of the Catholic faith in further episodes of kathysright.com, as well as I'm very welcoming of other denominations because I believe that what we have in common outweighs what we don't have in common. And that is our mutual love for Jesus Christ. And it's got to be about Jesus Christ. If it's not about Jesus, stay away from it. I highly encourage you to look up Apostolic Succession. We'll be talking more about the faith in future episodes. But this day, we're talking about a particular Catholic, Governor Cuomo, and another particular Catholic, Joe Biden. I call them CINOs, or some people, I don't know how you pronounce it, CINO. Catholic in name only. I'm not saying you have to be sinless. I'm just saying you cannot go out and publicly proclaim abortion and then in the same breath call yourself a devout Catholic, because you're lying. If you're doing that at the same time, that makes them a liar, period. So be truthful, be sincere, be authentically you. This is Kathy of kathysright.com. Stay prayed up. God bless you. God bless America. I love you. Bye.